Didn't realize we were up there. I was in the middle of doing something here. Anyway, hey, how are you doing? Hopefully you're doing great. Thanks for joining us this morning. We're going to be talking, of course, talking about the forecast and what you can expect as we head into this Memorial Day weekend. Got a little stormy last night. You know, the thing was amazing is these storms, they made it all the way from West Texas through Del Rio, kept going down 90, and then made it through. Thank goodness they kind of fizzled before they reached us here in Bexar County. Still did have a little bit of some winds though, so that was pretty interesting. All right, let me see if we got anybody saying hi. Hold on, let me turn this down real quick. Fizzled before they reached us here in Bexar County. Come on. Still did have wrong way. There we go. There we go. Had to cut out the audio there. Hey, Patty, how are you doing? You doing good? Norma, how are you doing? Maria, Grace, how are you? Denise, hello, how are you doing? Thanks for the birthday, Grace. I really appreciate it. You know, no matter how many birthdays you have, it's always fun. It's always a good day, and you always kind of feel a little special. So I really appreciate it. Joe, how are you doing? Susan, how are you doing? And Tam, how are you doing? Debbie, how are you? Hope everybody is doing great out there. Okay, as I said, thunderstorms move through. Now the question is, what can we expect over Memorial Day weekend, and will we have a replay again tonight into tomorrow? Well, first of all, let's start off by looking outside. We've got a temperature of 82. We've got a lot of cloud cover out there right now. Let's back up to yesterday. This helped to give a little fuel to some of those storms, especially out west. Del Rio hit 99 yesterday. Carrizo Springs hit 100. We hit 97. That was our high temperature. So it was hot. George West actually hit 100 degrees as well. And the heat index yesterday, let me see if I can get this back where it should be. The maximum heat index yesterday, it's not going to let me do it. But anyway, let's do that. Here we go. Now we're going to do it. Let me get this back here where it needs to be. There we go. Maximum heat index yesterday was 100, 106 in Pleasanton, Gonzales, it felt like 106, and Beeville. You know, I don't have to tell you, last several days it has felt very hot down in Beeville. 112, yes, 112 is what it felt like, and Catula felt like 105. So, you know, the last several days have felt more like July or June than May. Just been really hot. And what has helped us to see these really hot temperatures above average, because this time of the year, our average high should be in the upper 80s, not in the upper 90s. But the weather pattern had everything to do with it. The upper level ridge built in, and it was very much a summer-like pattern. And so that's why we had all these hot temperatures. Now, this is a look at the Storm Prediction Center. It almost looks exactly like it did yesterday, with a marginal risk of severe weather in the green section, basically from Kerrville to Eagle Pass. This is kind of the setup from yesterday. This is a look at today's. You notice the yellow. Again, there is a slight risk for severe storms out around San Angelo and Abilene. So what I think is going to happen is we're probably going to see a replay. Showers and storms, big thunderstorms will build out towards the San Angelo area and out west of Del Rio, and then we'll move to the east. Question is whether they will fizzle out before they reach us. Probably so. They probably will not be strong to severe, but they definitely will come through with a little bit of thunder and lightning overnight tonight again. So we're going to have a little bit of a replay. Who had the rough weather? Well, as you can see here, you can see the little squiggly thing that is a wind report. Now, we didn't really have severe weather per se, because you've got to have a wind gust over 58 miles per hour for it to be considered severe. But, as you know, those winds were really picked up a little scary last night. Biggest winds that I could find was on the northeast side of town over towards Converse and Windcrest. Had a wind gust of 48 miles per hour there. Stinson Airfield on the south side had a wind gust of 45. Bernie had a 52 mile per hour wind, and Hondo had a 60 mile per hour wind over towards Del Rio. Those winds there were in the 40 to 50 mile per hour range as well, and they had a little bit of some hail. I'm going to try to back this up, and you know what I like to do with this product here is, instead of the traditional radar where you see all the rains and you have a lot of greens and yellows and things like that, I've told the computer, hey, I don't want to see all that. What I want to see is the potential for hail. I also want to see the potential for strong wind gusts and just a severe activity. So basically we're just looking kind of at the inside of these thunderstorms. And you'll notice last night, let's see, what time was this? This was about 6:30 last night. Severe thunderstorm warnings for Valverde County and out towards Kinney County. You see that orange there? Not the box, but the orange in that cell. That's pretty heavy-duty hail right there, and so that's why they put out that warning. And then not too long after that, they did have some wind gusts and also some hail reports out of Del Rio. Then they kind of fizzled down a little bit, except for that cell that's there in Maverick County. Look at all the orange and the yellow there, signaling that there is a potential for some large hail. And then, not too bad, but then all of a sudden they fire back up again. And as they went through Hondo, strong winds there in Medina County. And then look at that, as they moved through Bexar County, just not a whole lot. But what happened is these thunderstorms started collapsing. And so all that wind energy started coming down to the surface, and bam, we had those wind reports there at about 11 o'clock last night as those storms moved through. And then we had some more fire up to the south. But all that activity has gone away now. We still have a few showers down there towards Laredo, but that's about it. Let's take a look at these temperatures around the area. Temperature 82 degrees right now. We're bouncing off of our morning lows, 76 at Kerrville, and Cotulla is coming in at about 78 degrees. Most of the shower activity has gone away. Now what you'll notice, if you look outside, is we've got cloud cover, but now it's really thin cloud cover up high above. Hey, Daisy, how are you doing? I'm going to say hi to some folks now, if you guys don't mind. Pamela, happy birthday. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Pamela. Joe, thank you so much. And Michelle, how are you doing? Thank you. And let me see if I can back this up. Grace, Grace has a question. Grace Kelly. Now, Grace, is that really your name, Grace Kelly? Because I know the Grace Kelly, of course, Princess Grace. But anyway. Will we have any severe storms overnight? Again, I really think most of the severe stuff will stay out west. It's possible we could have some wind gusts, but probably below severe levels. Now, if we have a thunderstorm this afternoon, some of those could create some hail. I think a better threat of that, but the rain chances in the afternoon without a real strong disturbance is pretty slim, 20%, so don't count on that. I think our next best bet for any strong to severe storms will probably be Friday night into Saturday morning. But this time of the year, if you get a really good cell with as much energy that we have, the warm temperatures, it doesn't take a whole lot for us to have strong to severe storms. And let's see, Roger, how are you doing? Mary, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thanks for all the happy birthday wishes. I really appreciate that. All right, so temperature outside is 82 degrees. Where do we go from here? Let's take a look at the state. We've got a stationary frontal boundary in North Texas. We've got a dry line out to the west around Midland. Now, that dry line may have gone through Midland already. You know how I can tell is you look at the clouds. Notice how the clouds are kind of moving to the east, so that dry line may actually have moved over. Plus, Midland now is reporting a southwesterly wind, so maybe a little bit closer. Anyway, along that dry line, that's where thunderstorms will develop later this afternoon, and that is way out there. So you may be asking yourself, it seems like a lot of times we'll have these thunderstorms that will come through in the middle of the night. Why is that? Well, because, we've got all kinds of humidity. We've got the atmosphere is unstable. We've got all that. But there's usually not any kind of frontal boundary or something to trigger those thunderstorms to form on. So you got to go way out west where you've got that dry line that separates desert air from the more tropical air, and you'll have those thunderstorms. So that's why when they form way out west towards Midland and west of Del Rio, that's why it takes so long for them to come across. And finally we get them here in the middle of the night as they're fizzling out. And I think that probably will be the same thing as well. One thing I want you to look at is, as well on this, let's go back to yesterday afternoon. Notice that little orange thing. What I've done here is I've put on the vorticity, basically little disturbances in the flow. I've put that on top of a water vapor, and I want you to notice what happens as that vorticity kind of moves in, or that disturbance moves in from the west. Can you see it come out of Mexico and across the Big Bend? As soon as that approaches in the afternoon and right along that dry line in the mountains of Mexico, that's where we have those big thunderstorms that develop, and that's why it's important to look at these disturbances and also look at the surface features. So let's take a look at this. Now, the last several days have been really hot because of the upper level ridge of high pressure. Well, that upper level ridge is flattened out, and so therefore you can count on a couple of things over the next several days. Temperatures will not be nearly as hot, and we'll have better rain chances. So I know it's unfortunate over the Memorial Day weekend. It seems like every Memorial Day weekend we've got a chance for some rain, but either way, We're going to have some rain over the weekend, no doubt, and temperatures are going to come down. So as we take a look going into Saturday and Sunday, notice the green blobs there, that's the rain. The red are the disturbances that come in, and that ridge has gone away. Now look what happens after this. Monday and Tuesday, this trough kind of builds in and cuts off into an upper level low. I really don't trust this, I'll be honest with you, past Wednesday, because that's 7 days out, and these computer models get a little sketchy after that time period. But just for fun, let's just see what happens for the rest of the month. Notice as we head into Thursday the 28th, Friday and Saturday and Sunday the 31st, did you see what happens there? That upper level low supposedly is just going to camp and park over Texas. What that's going to mean is all the way through the end of the month, highs will be in the 80s, and we'll have a chance for rain just about each and every day. Well, if that verifies, that'll be really good. I don't think anybody's going to complain about that. The only thing is, if it rains too much and too long, we may have a threat for some flooding, so we'll have to watch for that. High today, about 88 degrees. Well, actually, the computer model says 88. I think we'll hit 90. So we got 90 for a high. Could be a few pop-up showers and storms. Some of the storms could be strong. And then overnight, I think we've got a chance for some thunderstorms to move in. This computer model has storms from North Texas along the stationary frontal boundary, the cold pool of the thunderstorms, the outflow making its way all the way down into South Texas. There's other computer models that have storms moving in from the west. Either way, I think we got a chance for some storms overnight. Some of them could have some wind, I think. And I think they're going to, hopefully, I think they'll fizzle out. So let's just go ahead and let's take a look at the 7-day, and this is what I expect. Over the next 7 days, I think the high temperature today will be about 90, 20% chance of a shower or thunderstorm, 30% chance overnight tonight, and a 20% chance for tomorrow. High tomorrow around 91. Any storm that develops over the next couple of days could have some hail and some high winds. It's just not likely, but it's possible. Friday night into Saturday morning, same thing applies. And then Saturday, I think it's going to be a mostly cloudy day. We'll see some sunshine, but a mostly cloudy day. And again, a high temperature around 90. Then as that upper level low and that trough kind of builds in over in Sunday into Monday, highs in the mid-80s, a lot of cloud cover for Sunday and also into Monday. Hopefully Memorial Day we'll see a little sunshine, and we've got a really good chance of seeing some rain, 50 to 60% chance. And then I think Tuesday into Wednesday we'll keep it. We'll keep that upper level system nearby, 40 to 50% chance of rain, and high temperatures around 86 to 87. So that's kind of the trend that I see is a really good chance of us to see some rainfall as we head into this Memorial Day weekend, and temperatures coming down into the 80s. So that's the way it looks to me, and I really appreciate it. Again, thanks for everybody that logged on, and thanks for the birthday wishes. I really appreciate it, and thanks for logging on, and definitely thank you for watching us here at Ken's 5. We really appreciate it. I hope you have a great day, and we will see you later.